Welcome to the channel. Here, we provide clear, actionable insights into the complex world of tax and accounting to help your business thrive.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about a financial product that's built for one thing and one thing only, creating a guaranteed paycheck for the rest of your life. We're going to grab a real annuity proposal and tear it down piece by piece so you can see exactly how it works. Let's just start with this idea right here. You don't need to be a mechanic to drive a car, right? Same thing here. You don't need to be some financial wizard to figure out if an annuity is right for you. Our goal today is to stay in the driver's seat and focus on what this thing does for you, not get lost in all the complicated stuff under the hood. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get comfortable in that driver's seat. Then we'll take $100,000 for a test drive in a real-world simulation. We're going to find the one magic number that makes it all work, see how it stacks up against a classic retirement rule, tackle those big what-if questions that keep people up at night, and then, at the end, figure out if this is the right road for you.
Okay, so let's start with that first idea. No engine knowledge needed. We're just going to focus on what really matters to you, the consumer. How much money goes in, how your future income grows, and how much you're guaranteed to get back. Simple as that.
All right, enough with the theory. Let's make this real. It's one thing to talk about how these things work, but it's another thing to see the numbers in action. So we're going to walk through a case study with a real $100,000 investment.
So meet our hypothetical investor. We'll call him Mr. Hong. He's 56 years old, and he's putting a one-time lump sum of $100,000 into this annuity. And his goal is super straightforward. He's going to let it sit for 10 years, and then, when he's 66, he wants to flip a switch and get a paycheck that he absolutely cannot outlive.
Now, this table is pretty much what a real proposal looks like. And yeah, I know, at first glance, it can seem like a lot of gobbledygook. You got your account value, this thing called an income base, a guaranteed withdrawal, but don't worry. We're going to zero in on the one column that is the key to this whole thing, the income base.
And that brings us to the absolute heart of how this product works. It's all about this income base. You can think of it as the special, let's call it magic number, that the insurance company uses to figure out how big of a check they promise to send you down the road.
And get this, for those 10 years that Mr. Hong is just patiently waiting, the company gives him a rock-solid contractual promise. His income base is going to grow by a guaranteed 7.2% every single year, compounded, no matter what the stock market is doing.
Okay, this right here is probably the most important thing to understand. That income base is not your cash value. I'll say it again, you can't just walk away with it. Think of it like a separate, special calculator. It's a number that grows at that guaranteed rate for one reason and one reason only, to determine the size of your future lifelong paycheck. And you can see the power of that right here in the highlighted column. That initial $100,000 just chugs along, compounding at that guaranteed 7.2%, and after 10 years, poof, his income base has grown to over $200,000. That's the number that's going to fuel his income for the rest of his life.
So Mr. Hong's income base is now over $200,000. So what? How does that turn into actual cash in his bank account? Well, now we get to the best part, the payout phase.
Here it is, the big reveal. Based on that income base, Mr. Hong is guaranteed to receive about $14,000 a year, every single year for the rest of his life. It doesn't matter if he lives to be 90, 100, 110, that check keeps coming.
So, how'd they get to that $14,000 number? Well, it's actually really simple math. The company takes his final income base, that $200,000 plus figure, and they multiply it by a payout rate that's also guaranteed in his contract. For his age, it's around 7%. And that's it. That equals his $14,000 paycheck for life.
But you might be thinking, is a 7% payout any good? Well, to get some perspective, let's compare it to one of the most famous rules of thumb in all of retirement planning, the 4% rule.
And boom, this slide just lays it all out. It's a night and day difference. The 4% rule is just that, a rule, a guideline. It's definitely not a guarantee. It's totally subject to market risk, and the whole goal is just to make your money last for about 30 years. The annuity, on the other hand, is giving a higher payout rate, around 7%, that is a legal contractual guarantee. It's immune to market risk, and it's for your entire life. It's all about the power of pooling risk across thousands of people.
So a lifetime paycheck takes care of the fear of running out of money. But, life throws curveballs, right? So a good annuity also builds in protection against a couple of the other really big what-ifs in retirement.
First up, let's talk about the big one, the one that I think we all kind of worry about in the back of our minds. What happens if you get really sick and are suddenly facing those huge costs for long-term care?
Well, check this out. There's a feature built right in, a multiplier. If Mr. Han gets sick and can't do a couple of basic daily activities on his own, his income can literally double. That's right, it goes from $14,000 to $28,000 a year. It's a massive financial cushion to help pay for care, and those bigger payments usually last until his original investment has been paid back to him.
Okay, and now for the other big one. This is probably the #1 fear people have about annuities. You're thinking, wait a minute, what if I put all this money in and then I die after like 1 year? Does the insurance company just keep it all?
Let me be crystal clear on this. Absolutely not. And here's why. Modern annuities have a death benefit for this exact reason. If you pass away, the company just does some simple math. They take your initial $100,000, subtract whatever income payments they've already sent you, and the rest, whatever is left, goes straight to your family, to your beneficiaries. Your initial investment is not lost.
Okay, so we've gone through the whole thing. The numbers, the guarantees, the what-ifs. We land on the big question. Is this thing actually a good product? Should you even consider one?
And the answer, really, it just comes down to a very simple trade-off. This is not for someone who's trying to swing for the fences and get the highest possible returns in the stock market. This is a product built for one thing, taking a chunk of your savings and turning it into a predictable, worry-free, guaranteed paycheck that you can't outlive.
So, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one question. When you think about your retirement, what do you value more? The potential for maximizing returns, which always comes with risk, or the guarantee of peace of mind, knowing a certain amount of income will be there no matter what? That choice is up to you.